No, this is just Darren. Uh, did another put together footage of my homestead and some more discoveries in the back area, the back 40. I don't know what to call it, the unexplored region of my property. Anyway, um, talk a little bit about grits. I have to apologize because some of this footage is sideways. I'm sorry about that. Just the way it is. So just bear with it. I got talk about grit and my garden and looking in the back part of my property. How's everybody going? There's my chickens out there. Someone asked me a question about grit, and so um, I have oyster shell right now. I couldn't find my grit. Hilda, don't be taking off now. Don't be taking off. Hilda, no. Hilda, no. She has to bark at every car. At least she didn't take off. She stuck around. Hilda, get back here. She's coming back. Come on, honey. Get back here. Come on, girl. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. You're a good girl. That's my little farm dog. She helps me with the chickens. She actually catches the chickens if they get loose. And they've been digging around. Might put some bricks in there. But anyway, you buy this grit, and I mix it in their feed, in their layer pellets. I use layer pellets as opposed to crumbles because I think the pellets, they're going to eat the whole pellet. The crumbles, a lot of it gets wasted, and a lot of food gets wasted. So pellets are better than crumbles. But when they're this age, they're still small. I feed them. I feed them the crumbles, and when I add the other 4 chickens to this flock, when the other 4 get about the size of these ones now, then I will put they'll all go on crumbles, or they all go on pellets, and I'll put some of the grit in there. They do have sandy soil, so they can get some of their grit from sand too, naturally. Okay, so that's my chickens, and that's about grit. And I'll go here and we'll look at my garden, and I'll go around the front of the house. Come on, Hilda, follow Daddy. Come on, follow Daddy. Hilda, come. Come on, I know. Once we get that fence up, it'll be so great. This area here, where my truck's parked in the satellite dish, I want to put a barn right there. Of course, I can't afford it, but I'd really like to have a barn. That would be really nice. I have room for one, but maybe a big shed. My garden's doing really well. My son's clothes, some of it fell on the floor. He's going to have to come out here and check on it. He's not hanging it all up. He thinks if you flop them over, they'll stay, but they don't necessarily, not in the wind. My garden's doing really well. There's a guy on YouTube, an animal rights activist, that told me that that if he was around here, he would release my chickens and rabbits. They have no right to own animals. But my message to him is, I own them. There's nothing you can do about it. He's not going to come all the way down here to rural Alabama, try to release my animals. And if he did, my neighbors would beat his ass if I didn't catch him. So I don't know where my dog... Oh, she got back in the yard. Look at that girl. Oh, I know how she did it. You back in the yard, honey? When they put the fence in, I'll take this fence out. This is a temporary fence. It's going to go over here in my back area. I found this not too bad tin here. There are some tin pieces I could probably use. So this fence I could probably repair. I don't know what they used it for, but I could definitely probably put in some T-posts and pull that fence back up. I'm gonna clear this out a little more. I found this. It's not any good, but I'm gonna bring that up to the house. There are some bottles out here. Somebody's been doing some drinking out here back in the day. I don't think I'm on my property right now. I could be. I think my property probably ends at this fence line, or this fence right here. I think that way is somebody else's property. I'm not even sure who owns property back here. Wish I did. I'd like to know who my neighbors are. But I can fix this somehow. And then so I can save money on fencing because I can use that fencing. At least I don't want to go that way because there's those stickery things that just stick to you. So I'm gonna head back up to the house. Now there's some ribbons on the trees. Could that be a property marker? Ribbons there. Somebody marked this. Maybe my property's where those marks are on that tree. I don't know. Looks like they've been there a while. There's that same mushroom I saw. I didn't notice he's coming through here. Sometimes hunters will put things around a tree like that to identify where they go hunting, so I don't know. Yeah, they've been there for quite a while, I think. Probably, I don't know. Does it mark the property? It was on that tree. It does, it does. That would kind of suck because then I got to tear all that out of there. That thing would be on both our properties. That's why I wish I knew the property owner so I could ask him. You know, there's that mushroom. I don't know what kind it is. There's a couple of them around here. Don't look familiar to me as any edible ones. So I'll just leave them alone. There's a mushroom out here too. And as it cools down, it'll get more mushroom season. Come on, Hilda. Don't know what kind of mushroom that is. Here's my back area. I got some fence I bought when I moved down here. And I got it at the same time I got my what the hell's it called? Come on, Hilda. Oh, never mind. Anyway, it's kind of the neighbor's area too, so it wouldn't be that hard to find the border here. How far back it goes, I'm still trying to determine. Past the tree line a little bit. There are some fence. There's a fence back there, so I'm thinking that's where my property ends. So, but that fence goes that way. That could be an old corral. And let's go take a look at it. Because I know according to the aerial map of this place, and there's some mushrooms too. Some of my little mushroom area. I do collect mushrooms. When I find them, ferns on the ground, that tells you that the soil's moist. And I don't know what this is. It's a double fence here. So I'm thinking the end of that's the end of my property. Which is good because then I won't have to, I can just come up to here with the fence. There's a lot of stuff back here. Anyway, I think this is the edge of my property. There's a fence, but looks like the posts are rotted out. I think this is a good marker. At the end of my property is right here, because that opens out to there. And evidently they raised some kind of animal where they had a fenced area and then another fenced area. So you saw the back of my property, and I don't know exactly where the property line is. So we'll have to determine that before I put a fence up there. Maybe that little corral is on both our properties. I don't know. But anyway, which would be a shame, because then I can't use it. Unless I know the owner, maybe he'll let me use it a little bit, dip into his property, and I'll let him dip into my property, and if we want to do an exchange like that. But I don't even know if I could ever find out the property owner, because if you go down to the records, usually they don't give you the property owner. I don't think it's private information. I don't know. So around here, people are very much hush hush. They don't like. They want everybody. You mind your own business around here. That's the lifestyle in this area of Alabama, anyway. And considering I'm the only black person in the community. I mean, white person in this community. You know, there's some people. I met another neighbor yesterday. A guy was looking find out whose dog. There was a brown dog over in his yard, and he knew we had dogs. It wasn't one of our dogs. So anyway, I got to meet him. He's a pretty nice young guy. He lives in just down the road from me, not very far. Anyway, I talked about grit. Grit you should buy. It's kind of saying birds have what is called a craw. I think it's called a craw or a crop, and it's along their esophagus, and they will digest small rocks, and then the rocks get in there, and it helps them, I guess, chew up the food more before they digest it. I spent a long time. That was from 7th grade biology, and that's all I can remember from that. But anyway, I do know, you put a little grit in with their food. But what I find is you put some in there, and then when they're down to the bottom of their food, you'll see the grit still sitting in there. So mixed in with their food. But they will eat some of it. But, that's where I usually put it in with mixed in with their food. That's about the only way I know to give it to them. I mean, you could probably put a bowl with just grit. Maybe they'll eat it, maybe they won't. Chickens they're not highly intelligent animals, so they kind of rely more on instincts, and they kind of know what to do, hiding it for them. I put it in their feed, and they may eat it, may not eat it. They do seem to eat it. You could also put it in a bowl. If they find it, they'll eat it. They may not. But if you're depending on where your chickens go outside, if there's small rocks and stuff in there, that's probably where they're most likely going to get grit. So if you have sandy soil like me, I might put some grit out there for them. I don't know. I'm actually going to put some old straw and some wood chips out there for them. So, but the best bet for giving your chickens grits is just to put a little bit, not grits, but grit, is put in a little bit in with their feed, and they'll find it and they'll decide whether they want to eat it or not. That's all you really can do in order to provide them grit. I hope that answers whoever question that was. I don't remember the name. I don't even remember the question. I know it's about grit though. But I buy it from Tractor Supply. It's usually there with the chicken supplies, not where the feed is, but where the chicken treats are, and supplements and stuff like that, and kind of near where the chicken feeders and chicken waterers are. They're usually in that part of Tractor Supply. You can probably get them at any feed and grain place too. So wherever you buy your chickens, you probably get it there. Usually if they sell chicken stuff, they'll sell grit. Anyway, you guys have a good day and a better tomorrow.